Hey guys, welcome to the show. I hope you're having a great day. I have an awesome guest, my friends Val Smalkin. I was going to Smalkin. Nope, it's Smalkin. I don't know why I almost said that. That's hilarious. Anyways, yeah. So what is up? I'm just chilling here, and I was going to show you the old song, but what do you think, Val? Should I do a new song, or should I show you the song that we made last week?
Oh, that's a hard choice. New song you did last week. Well, they're both new.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
One's that they're both just gonna be made up. So even the one I did last week actually isn't recorded. I just have the beat. So
okay.
Either one is the faster of the two would be a brand new song.
Okay, brand new song.
All right, here we go. What do you? All right, let's go. How are y'all today? I'm having a good day. I am. It's a Monday, Tuesday. Sorry, see that's how my day's going. It's crazy, boy. I'm just having a great day. I exhale, breathe, and I run this way. And I'm just saying, sitting at the summertime. My kid's making a mess, and I can never find. I define the rhymes that I can see, man. Sometimes I can break back and see them. I ain't trying so hard to get it through, but I exhale, breathe, and I gotta just move. Do you really see me now? I run with the light, but the light with style. And I get it cause I know where I still can't even go if I run this fly. Yeah, I guess that's my song. And now back to the intro. Here we go, y'all. Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. Hello, and welcome to the show, guys. And Val, there you go. That's the actual intro for the thing. And,
I love it. It makes me feel like such an old lady.
Oh, yeah?
the Godzillas and the little cartoons and the little... It's special.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like 1990s video game is definitely the vibe I was going for. And you're like,
Yeah.
Still, that's too fancy. You're just like, I need regular old school graphics.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Hi, welcome to my show. This is Flows for You. We're going to make up a song together and have fun. But I do have a weird question, just because I think it'll be a funny intro. What is the silliest place you did a show? Or the weirdest place, or the most awkward? It's either any of those things. I'll tell you mine too if you need me to stall.
Well, really, one of my favorite called du Cap in France, and it was, and so, well, actually, I did one in Belgium, and when I got there, I realized I had forgotten to take Silly Goose. So I had
That's kind of your bit? So.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I went out and got this cat thing and made it in the mouth, and we did the whole thing with Chanty Cat, who like to sing. Chant means to sing, Chanty Cat. But in southern France, it was nice because I didn't have a mic. I had terrible equipment, and the kids, it was just a huge bunch of kids, and they were so good. They listened so well. So it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two. One, I did a show when I was back at one of my first like real rap shows. We were like, it was my whole rap group, and but the sound guy hated rappers, and so he didn't let any of us touch the mics. So we looked like the Temptations up in this mix, like 6 dudes just rapping with, which is weird. If you didn't know, rapping without holding your mic is just a weird thing.
Right.
So you're just doing this with and then another one that was great was at a pool where I just had 5 kids around me with a boombox. So yeah, that was weird. Yeah. But they were like, "We want you to come do a birthday party," and I was like, "Sweet." And then they were like, "Here's your options," and I was like, "Oh, that's fun." But this is when I didn't know any better, so it was fine. But yeah, so it's so funny how those things work. You just be like, this is the show that I'm in now. Or when you think it's going to be awesome and then you show up and it's like two people and you're like, oh, okay, well, that's not exactly what I thought.
Right.
Or when you think it's going to be two people and it's like 200 people and you're like, oh, come on. I should have charged you for 200 people.
Oh no! Someone once said to me, "You do your best show because you never know
Yep.
who's there, and so you have fun with whoever you can have fun with. I mean, you have shows sometimes where there's a bagpipers next to you, so you can't hear anything. Or a show where all the parents are just talking away and not, which, as I often say, my material's not subtle, but listening to to the build up and the punchline does help, and the kids like to hear it, and so people just talk.
Yeah, it doesn't. Stand up doesn't work if people are talking. I always laugh because that's how I see you as. I when I first met you, I thought you were just a singer person. Nope, you do like the full stand up thing, and it's great.
Oh, thank you.
But I didn't know. I didn't know what I was getting into. I just knew you, and so that was. Then when I saw your bit, I was like, oh no, this is hilarious. So, I've actually prepped for you today. You'll love it when you actually do the thing that you do, and then I'll be ready for it. So I'm ready for you if it makes you laugh anymore. So
Okay.
you'll see. I already know. I already know you're going to do something. I'm just prepped for it. So
Okay. I'm ready.
all right. So my first question is, what kind of music do you like? Let me do the. Oh man, you think I was ready? I'm not ready. Here it is. Bam. What music do you like?
I was brought up on jazz in the 50s.
Okay.
So Oscar Peterson is my hero when it comes to piano. I almost stopped playing piano because he's so fantastic and I couldn't possibly ever be that good. Then I realized you just do what you can do. So brought up on jazz, and actually my older brothers played jazz, and they sort of thumbed their noses at country music. And as I got older, I realized, well, excuse me, there's a lot of great country music out there, and not all music has to be as confusing as jazz. So at this point in my life, what is my favorite kind of music? I really can't say. I like music that is positive, and yeah, that helps the world be better, as opposed to worse.
I think that's fair. I mean, you definitely want to be in a place where, yeah, that's good. Well, it's better not to like music that just makes you cry all the time. I mean, I do love some Celine Dion though.
Oh yeah. I mean, if it's sad is different, and you can make the world better by getting people in touch with their feelings. Nothing wrong with that. I just like this. I mean, I understand when it came out in the '90s. I'm a something baby. Some song that my kids.
I'm a loser.
Yeah, I'm a
baby.
loser baby. And I just thought, oh, I don't like that as a topic for a song.
Well,
And
it
I'm sure
worked
there's
out
room
him.
for it. Well, it certainly did. So who am I to criticize anybody? But I just like positive music.
Well, it's funny because he like morphed into an actual artist. He went from just a rapper guy to
Yeah.
like being like a full-fledged musician dude.
Yeah.
And so it's just interesting how that works. It's like you start with one thing and then you're moved to something totally different. So it's interesting.
We all get older. We learn.
Yeah, no, it's so funny now when I'm like, wow, I'm in my 40s and I'm like, wow, this is what my thoughts on things are totally different. I used to like be a total like hip hop diva, and then I had to be lyrical with everything I did, and I had to do certain things. And now I'm like, I just want to have fun and enjoy myself. I don't really care about that. I still want to be good at it, right? But it's like, I just want to have fun.
Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah, that's me all day. Now, what's the big idea? What's our song going to be about today? What do you think? You have any ideas?
Well, we had the idea of Silly Goose, who is my friend here, balks at there's a Christmas song. What? I hate about cooking a goose, basically, and she would like to stop that tradition.
Well,
of
she would
cooking
be
geese.
very unhappy with me. There
Right.
was a year where one of my best friends, he was like, yo, you know what something we should do is cook a Christmas goose. And we had a whole Christmas party, and I had to learn how to make Christmas goose, and I made like 3 of them. And I did not realize how much grease comes out of a goose.
Oh, yeah.
And so
yeah.
it made for the best stuffing I ever made in my entire life.
Yeah.
But it was a lot for nothing. It's like so much less meat than a turkey, and it's just like so much more expensive. But anyways, that was a long time ago.
Wait. What is he talking about? Are you talking about cooking a goose?
I am, and per your retainer that you told me, Silly Goose, I did make sure I changed the graphics so it actually said your name instead of Val's name, because we talked about that beforehand. I knew that again. I hope you got all the money that I sent you to be on the show, so I'm really excited to have you. But we're not supposed to talk to Val about that. You told me. Sorry.
Well,
I didn't mean to say it
I feel that there's a conspiracy going on here between you and your friend Scout.
Yes, there is. He's my bestest friend.
He is. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we work together all the time. We've done a lot of. You don't know about the new Silly Goose rap album that we've made?
Yeah, I meant to tell you.
No, I haven't. That's what all that noise has been in the basement. No wonder I come down, the computer's on.
Yeah, I learned how to do it. I can type and everything.
What do you type with?
My nose.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are
so. It's been a really great project, and so we're excited to release it. So.
You know what? I gotta sit because I got a sore throat.
All right. See you later.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Funny, she gets a sore throat and I get an arthritic wrist.
I don't know what that's about.
I don't get. So I am really shocked. I am shocked to find that you have been working behind my back with my partner.
Oh, I don't. I just take emails, Val. I just take people request my services. It was a little weirdly typed. It makes sense now that it was weirdly typed. But this is what happened. This is what happened now that they have text, voice to text. Anybody can send emails. This is a funny thing. My son is 6, and he's now figured out that he can.
Wait a minute, he's 6.
My little kid, my daughter is 3, and so I was getting confused. And my son is 6, but he has figured out that he's not the best. He can spell a little, but he's not the best typer at the moment. But he's figured out that he could text to voice comments on YouTube. All right, now this is hilarious because he's using my account. So there I am, there, my face, going, really good job on your Minecraft video, man. So awesome. And I had to looked at all the previous comments, and I was just like, he's so loving and encouraging, but I look crazy.
That's right. And you might get picked up for being like an adult who's pretending to be a child.
Well, no, there's no pretending. My picture is right on there.
Pretending to be an adult.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. It's like, there was one that was like somebody said a bad word, and he was like, that video was great except for your bad word. I didn't like that. But it's just my picture like this. Saying that, and then it's just hilarious. Like they're like, I don't understand this person. And I'm like, so I don't think I deleted them, but I was just like, okay, let me check through all these things, make sure he's not doing anything crazy. And then it's like, he's like, that was a great comment, Dad. I was like, yeah, dude. Oh, then there was one that the actual creator responded to, and so he was so excited. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, they thought that was a great comment. Great. Now they think I'm weird.
That's funny.
So that is hilarious.
Different context, but my grandson, I have a 12-year-old grandson, he's very, very smart. We're driving in the car with Grandpa, who's a lot older than I am, I just want you to know, and we're in the car. He's in the back seat, and he picks up one of these, it's like a danger thing, a marker. It's a light that you put out if you like SOS, you're in trouble. And he looks at me and he says it so Grandpa won't hear. He says, Grandma, if I put this on the SOS signal and held it out the back window, do you think they'd stop and arrest you?
You're like, please don't try.
Right. Please. Yes, and please don't.
Do this, Grandma. Grandma can't handle it. That's hilarious. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I like the idea of Silly Goose not wanting to, not like a Silly Goose song.
Right.
Do we want it to be Christmassy, or do we want it just to be, hey, don't do this?
Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. Please to put a penny in Christmas. I'm trying to think of the real song. Do we want it to be Christmassy? No, I think she's against cooking geese. She's against having pate. Cooked goose, all of that. She is totally against it.
I bet I could make some delicious goose tacos, actually, if I really think about it. Anyways,
Go to
sorry.
sleep, silly goose. Go to sleep.
Yeah, sorry.
Silly
Don't worry about it,
goose.
silly
We'll
goose.
put her
We're fine.
down on the piano. Just let her.
But all right, so don't cook silly goose. Is there any kind of foods that you think it'd be funny to mention during the song? Like nachos, maybe
Pickles are always funny.
goose pickles?
Just pickles in general.
Oh, that's
Say
great.
pickles to any child and they laugh.
I love it. No, this is great. So what we'll do is we'll say don't cook silly goose. Instead, replace it with pickles.
There you go. Or what else would goose? Oh, ducks. She doesn't mind if you eat ducks.
Oh, she's cool with ducks.
She's cool with
Yeah,
ducks.
That's yeah. Duck. All right. So pretty much just a song that is about not cooking geese in general.
Not cooking geese.
Is there any other themes that we want to add to this? Like, for your favorite snacks, we shouldn't have geese chips or geese jerky.
Yeah, but yeah, shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Geese
Geese
fat.
lasagna. Be rough.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I like this. So I could just say the different kinds of foods that wouldn't have, that shouldn't have geese in it in general. Is this a perspective? Like, is this silly goose's brain going, I don't like this? Or is it me in general as a encouraging song to the youth? Do not eat geese. Like, has
Well-
Silly Goose paid me to make a PSA?
Could it kind of be both? Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, silly goose.
Oh, I love the idea that Silly Goose, this all happened because somebody tried to cook Silly Goose.
Well, she heard someone talking that they were going to cook her goose, and they were using it in the sense of,
Yeah, gonna get it.
like you're going to get in trouble. But she took it literally,
Yeah.
and then she put it together with the Christmas song,
this.
and it just exploded in her head.
So there you go. So it's going to start with like somebody saying this to her, and it's obviously going to be you, because it makes sense because you're her best friend, other than me. Her bestest friend is, I think, what she said.
Best tourist.
It makes
Excuse
sense. I mean, I'm pretty awesome. You already know that, though. And so there you go. That's what our song is about. It's going to be about Silly Goose finding out that somebody wants to cook her goose and how she doesn't think that that's a good decision.
Yes.
And all the foods that you should do it. And if you were to
Instead.
cook something, you should cook pickles. Maybe pickle tacos, pickle lasagna. All delicious options.
Yes.
I like this. So what is it that you do? What I assume you do stuff with a puppet. Is that how that works? I'm just playing.
I play. I create. I build puppets.
I know you made beautiful puppets for me
know.
and the hip hop affinity group.
Did you see the ones I made for Kimberly Stewart?
Upgrade.
I got better. Yeah, I got better. Sorry, you were my first practice.
And aren't you glad I was?
And you don't know how many bad versions I made of those puppets before I made the good one. I didn't charge her for that.
Hers, yes. I was like, no,
Yeah.
I've seen the. I remember.
Oh,
our
you've
bad
seen some really
versions.
bad ones. Well, I told her she wanted me to put lips on this one. I said, no.
You're like, no,
I'm not
I
putting
learned my
lips on
lesson
the
last
banana.
time.
No lips.
Yeah. but
Teeth worked really well. I put teeth on CJ.
Yeah.
That worked well.
I thought that looked cool. So
Yeah.
that's cool. So you make puppets, you create songs, you make jokes.
I
You
do,
do
I
all kinds
do.
of fun stuff.
Here's another little one. I'll show you. Wait a minute. This is my. Whoops. This was real. I guess one of my first puppet builds, because I went to a workshop where you make puppets. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh,
and it's
you know
green.
what? We can't show you. You're green.
Yeah.
I have to turn.
kinda
Oh,
see
I'm
'em.
there. Yeah, you can see me because
you're
the grass is
camouflaged.
green.
You have camouflage skills.
Yes, I do.
You are a snake. It makes sense that a snake would not be able to be seen in the grass. That's actually hilarious. That's not even on purpose.
Oh my.
Man,
Poor
talking
thing.
about being a snake in the grass.
Ha 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 ha. She's so sweet though. Actually, she's a snake without a hith. That's her
Without a
problem.
hith?
That she doesn't have a hith. Yes.
Oh, that's rough. A snake without a hith.
Yes.
I'm a snake without a hith. And a hith is what I Slurliness.
There you go. That's right. So anyway, so that was
got
I
you.
like her.
That's
Here,
hilarious.
you sit.
Yeah, that's cool. It's so interesting. Like, how did you even get into that? Like, how were you just like, were you like 10 and we're like, yo, I'm just gonna do puppets, or did that like just happen like one day you were with your grandchildren and you're like, I'm gonna do this, or was it like your kids? I don't know.
I've never told you this story.
No.
It's a great story. It's how I got into ventriloquism. I used to be part of Val and Pam Kindersingers, and I was the founder, and we had a little television show in
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Val and Pam. I imagine you were Val. Was that?
I was Val, yes.
Oh,
and
okay.
Pam,
Well, just
Pam was
checking.
this cute. She's like much shorter than I am, and
Very adorable.
I don't think she's my age. I think she's 10 years younger than I am, or she always looked 10 years younger. Anyway, she's adorable. So we're at a country club, the Bethesda Country Club in Washington, D.C., doing this is like early 90s, doing a Halloween program in this room jam-packed with people. I mean, just wall-to-wall people, at least 600 people in this room. In the front row, we're on a little tiny stage up about 2 feet. One little boy bops the other one. I mean, just right in the jaw, a real punch. So I'd been working long enough that you can't get upset on stage. You can't scold your audience. So I turned off my mic and I leaned down and I said, "If you do that again, I'll call the police." And I went back. Stopped. They didn't. You couldn't say that today. You get in a lot of trouble. But that's what I said. They stopped.
Well, you
and
didn't say
after,
anything. It's not your. You don't know where that voice came from.
Right. That's right. It wasn't me.
They didn't see your lips move.
After the show, I turned to Pam and I said, I could be a ventriloquist. And that's when I decided to start thinking about a puppet. That was it.
That's hilarious that you just became a ventriloquist, not even on purpose. You were just like
Just out of
You just weren't
necessity.
trying to look like you were screaming at a kid,
Right.
which is never
Hi,
good.
I'm gonna
as a
kill
kids
you.
performer. Yeah. I I freestyle, you know this, with
Yeah.
kids, and every once in a while something just inappropriate, like not inappropriate, I'll mention something random like gun, and I'm like but I'll like switch it up as I'm doing it, so it's not as bad. But I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, oh man, I can't believe I said that, or
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I thought it was a kid who was going to say something inappropriate because I remember one of our first shows, some little kid came up with the F word. Like it was a song about a duck, so the teachers kind of walked him out of the room.
yeah. Imagine. That's hilarious.
I just pretended I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, no, that's no, I understand. That's fun. So that's a really great story. So you're just like I'm gonna now do this, and so it worked out because that really upped your performance, right? Like, did you know that the jokes and stuff were going to be something that you would enjoy? Because I assume you were just singing before.
Yeah, no, well, we were doing, Pam and I would do a lot of bits. I mean, we did a lot of comedy bits. Like she'd get behind me and I'd have 4 hands. And why do I have 4 hands? I'm not supposed to have 4. Wait, why do I have,
Nice.
and we'd chase each other. We'd come out, she would peek out of the curtain. I'd run over there. We'd go back. It's just a lot of vaudevillian kind of stuff. We had fun. But then my knees went bad is what happened. So I got older faster than she did. And I taught school for years. And then I got new knees, or knees, as I like to say.
Nice.
And got back on, could do all my shtick again. And by then, Pam had been, I'd told her, you take the business, go ahead and do that. So we realized we couldn't, if we got back together, we would simply be cutting our incomes in half because people don't want to pay more than about $300 in this area. I mean, maybe now they'll go to $400, but they just, that's what they were paying in 2000 and that's what they still want to pay today.
Yeah.
So we just went our separate ways and gave ourselves a raise.
Yeah. Did y'all ever do like a joint show just for?
Oh,
old
we
time's
have, yeah.
sake?
We did a reunion one time, and I think we're going to get together. Actually, the son of the producer of It's Kindertime, which was the show we were on, his son married a woman who adores It's Kindertime and Silly Goose, and her little daughter Zoe does, and they want to start it up again. So they just called just today. They just called about that, and I gave them Pam's number. They want to get, and I'm sure she will. So I'll be looking forward to that. They have he worked at T. Rowe Price, like in the money field, for 16 years, and he just left to do this streaming thing that he wants to do. So it's going to be
That's amazing.
fabulous. I think he knows what he's doing.
Wow, I'm getting some some brand new news breaks
Yeah,
right here.
this is news. Baltimore news.
Wow, that's exciting. And I imagine people in Baltimore would be loving this idea. So
Oh, they will. I run into people all the time. People who are like in their 40s watched the show when they were kids, and
Sure.
so and,
you'll just be at
and
the
they
grocery
love it.
store and they'll be like, "You're amazing."
Well, yeah, they don't recognize me anymore. I don't
it's
look
not-
like I did back
yeah,
then.
I always laugh at when I look at your Facebook and you have your older pictures on certain things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, that's definitely that's how it is with my with the picture that you see from my YouTube that the people see. It's my younger hip hop.
Yeah.
It's not this face. It's my very handsome face. And so
I just put one picture on my website. I have a press kit page, and it has all pages. But at the very bottom one, I put one way back when. And I mean, I really look young. I look like a baby, and so does Pam. Yeah.
that's fun. Yeah, I mean, you get to choose what you look like. So
Yep.
It's like
well,
in those,
I choose to own my age, and think of me as a grandma.
I always think of it like when I watch. Have you ever looked at IMDb? I wonder who decides what picture comes up at the time for the cast. Like if you decide your young, because sometimes you'll think, "Whoa, that's their very young picture." That's
Yeah.
not what Danny DeVito looks like.
Right.
But that's funny. So there you go. All right, so we have an idea. We know what you do. All right, the next one is let's make a beat. And if I'm being honest, I was bored, and so I already worked on it. So this is what I have. But first, I'll show you. Let's make a beat. And here we go. Can you hear this? So this is the drums. Do you like that?
Yes, I do.
All right. So then we're gonna add some. Then we're gonna add some noises. And I thought you'd think this is great. And so this is that. And so then we're going to have a chorus. And it'll be like this. What do you think?
I like that.
I can change up the chorus if you like. I can change any of these things. Is there anything that you feel like maybe I should try something different, or you like what I showed you?
I was playing on my piano here, but I can't get it into you.
You could. So I have this.
have to put
I'm
my
running
mic
a
over
thing called Soundtrap, and I can actually send you the link, and you can actually record your music onto it, so then we can actually play it at the same time. Too much work. We already
Yeah.
talked about this.
It's
we
late.
talked about making it simple. Now you can, but you'd have to do it live when we're doing it.
Well,
so,
I could do it if I put my mic over there. See.
Yeah.
Can you hear that? Does that come through?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear it. But mine. Oh, that's why. All right, there you go.
Okay.
Can I
That's what
record
it's
that?
doing.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know where we're at. There you go. That's fun. So.
So what are we doing now?
Oh no, we're good. We're just talking.
Okay, we're just talking. I'll
All
bring
right.
my
So we
mic back
like
to
we
me.
like the beat. We like where we're going
Yes.
with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. The cool part is I actually. So what I will do is once I record this song and we end the show, I'll actually send you this file, and you can actually add something if you wanted to. So like
Okay.
a hilarious. I think it would be funny if you have time, and you don't have to. Is add a little like silly goose doing an intro.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that. I'll send it to you. We'll talk
Oh,
later.
I'll do it. I'll do
So.
anything. I'm the youngest of 6 children. I'll do anything, even though I'm 74. I mean,
I would never. When you told me that, I never guessed that because you are very like you're just so fun to talk to. So not that 70-year-old people aren't awesome.
aren't fun. Yeah, but there's some who aren't so awesome.
Yeah,
But there's some 20-year-olds who aren't so awesome either.
there's some 6-year. No,
Yeah. Well, kids, that doesn't matter.
3-year-olds
Just,
mainly. Crazy person.
what do they know?
They don't.
They're
But
stupid. Yeah.
there you go. So that's the beat. That's what we'll do. Well, I feel good about that. You feel good about it. I like it. So when it comes to a beat, that's the foundation of the beat. So what is that? like, what's the foundation of that? You explain what you do, but why do you do it? Like, what's the point? Like, you could go do something else. Why children's music? Or why is that a thing for you?
What I always say, and I heard it from someone else, is that I like to create community moments of joy. Because there's a lot of pain in the world. I mean, I've been through shit. Everybody has been through shit. And we can build on that. You can be broken by the shit, or you can be honed by what has happened to you. And if you go straight through that pain and you learn from it and you grow, you can get to the other side. And so after I started off as a lawyer, actually. Well, I started off as a musician. Then I went to law school because I thought I was in music in the 60s. Let's see. I graduated high school 67. I graduated college 71. I went to Berklee College of Music in 71, 72. And I realized that if I stayed in that environment, I was going to be dead in about 2 years because the drugs and the life, I mean, it was going to kill me because I just went along with everything. I just say to this day, thank God no one ever offered me heroin or anything, because I probably would have said, sure.
Sure.
And they just, my angels were with me going,
You would not be here.
right. So.
Sorry, I'm just imagining a heroin-inspired silly goose. Good thing.
No, that would not have happened. Would not have happened.
I know, but if you descended into
Keep
that
your
world.
ears to cover up her ears. I often call myself the Margaret Dumont. Do you know who Margaret Dumont is? Margaret
do
Dumont
not.
was the straight woman for the Marx Brothers movies. The woman who was she was always sort of elegantly dressed in her 50s, 60s, and they would just come into her house and just do terrible things, and she never quite got it. She was just always nice and kind. I call myself the Margaret Dumont of the puppetry world because a lot of the puppetry world is pretty edgy.
Sure.
And I'm like Miss Soft Balloon Marshmallow person, Anyway,
That's funny.
I have gotten completely off track.
It's okay. What I just
Oh, so
watched,
why do I do what I do? So, I left music. I tried a whole bunch of things, and then I ended up in law school just on a fluke. And I actually loved law school. I loved because I knew nothing about anything before I went to law school. I mean, I didn't even know there was a state government and a federal government. I knew. And so I loved it. And then I worked in law for a while, and then I got married. I married one of the judges that I was appearing in front of.
Nice.
And-
That's a good way to be a successful lawyer. Makes sense.
So, good, sorry, a good joke about that. Years later, when I was still practicing law and we were married, we were my husband, and I was late for a hearing before another judge in Baltimore City. And I rushed in there. I said, Your Honor, I'm so sorry. I said, but whoops, did I just turn something off? I said, okay, Your Honor, I'm so sorry. The last time I did this, I married the judge, and I clearly can't do that again.
Nice.
He laughed. He thought that was funny. Anyway, so left. But when I got children, then I found there was children's music. I had just
Yeah.
it never dawned on me that there was a whole genre of music called children's music, and so once that I heard children, I just got into that, and it feeds my soul. The music is just I am musical and creative, and that artistic side was really just very, very excited. All my little synapses are going woo 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 woo. So I did that, and then I taught when I couldn't perform. I taught music for years, and that was fun too. I mean, that was great. And then got my knees back and performing again. So I do it because I think it's the gift I have that I can bring to the world. I don't need to be the smartest person in the world. I don't need to be a senator, and I just need to go to places and take groups of people and help them feel love and kindness towards one another. We all end up laughing and having a great time, and that's my gift.
That's amazing. I think that's really cool. Like the idea of that. Now, I'm interested. Like when a kid asks you, "Should I do this too?" What's your automatic response? What do you like?
Oh,
to
I
say?
say if you love music and you love doing this, sure, and just make sure you get yourself prepared. I would tell anybody now, you can get a degree in puppetry. I didn't know that. Now, I wonder if that would stilt your puppetry. I don't know, but you can go to the University of Connecticut and you can study puppetry. But sometimes I think like that's not always the best way to go, because academics have a way of taking really lovely things and just parsing them up into pieces. And
Well, I did
not-
just watch a documentary about a certain Jim Henson,
oh, did you? Oh, I can't wait to watch that.
who himself went to school for puppetry.
Okay.
So
There's a lot to be said for it. Okay, good. I didn't know, because music school
no, I
just
agree.
soured
I
me on music.
automatically imagine that response until I saw that. But again, I think that's his brain. Like, some people, like anything else, they can be taught something and they only stick with what they're taught instead of
Right.
innovate. And
Yeah.
so,
And hopefully anybody who's into puppets would be a bit more innovative. So,
yeah.
Well,
Well, it's like when I got into making sock puppets, I was like, nah, if I'm gonna make a sock puppet, I want to make a sick sock puppet. I ain't gonna just make a regular one. I want an awesome one. And so, so I made them. And
yeah.
I know you helped me sell my first one, actually. So
Yeah. So I tell kids, do it and prepare. And actually, I do. I had never thought about. I just always tell them, you can get a degree in this. You can go. And I tell the parents, when I see a really artistic kid, artistic, not autistic, artistic, I tell them, look, this human being is going to need to do something creative and artistic. And your job is to help him find the path to that, to get the education, to get the mentorship, to get the network to work, because otherwise they're going to be miserable.
yeah, it's funny. I've had to grow in my answer throughout the years because I became very cynical as a rapper, because I was a Christian rapper, and there's not a lot of money in Christian rap when I first started. And so somebody would say, hey, I want to be a Christian rapper. My co-host, actually, he was like, when I first met him, he was like, it was like forever ago. He's like, I want to become a Christian rapper. And I was like, don't do it. There's no money in it. There's no time worth your time. Now, obviously, if you love something, then you do it. And if it's not about the money, which shouldn't be when it comes to lots of things, be cool. But at that moment, I was very cynical. So I was like, no. And don't do that to yourself. Go do something.
You do have
else.
to make a living.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
no. Oh,
Right.
It's hilarious. Now it's funny because I'm with you. I didn't really think of kids music until I was in my 40s.
Yeah.
I didn't even register it. Like my friend who is a international known rapper was like, I always assumed that you wanted to be a kids musician because your first album was called Sock Monkey Confessionals. And I had a song about a sock monkey sharing his faith. It literally was the song. And I was like, no, that was just me being me. I never thought of it as a kid song. But now I'm like, oh, that's cool. And so like, now I'm like, oh, this makes more sense that it's something I enjoy now. And there's money to be made. You just got to figure out the right thing for you and do it. But and now it's like, no, please be creative. Do your thing. I laugh. My son always wants to do a YouTube channel. And so he'll tell me all the stats of what I need to do. He's 6.
Yeah.
And so like we're working on my third YouTube channel. And so he's like, I'm just going to let him tell me what to do. I'm just going to have him produce me and see how it goes because it makes me laugh.
That's just what my friends are doing. The ones who want to start up at Skinter Time, their daughter Zoe is saying, well, I want to learn about the ocean fish, and I want to go learn about something else. And so they're just following her, what she wants to learn about.
Yeah,
And that's
no,
gonna
it
be
sounds
their-
fun.
Yeah, sounds like what you're doing.
There you go. I'm slowly working on it. So I just started working on some new channels for somebody else where they answer, where it's a what kids say kind of thing. And so that's been fun to like listen to what they say and going, oh yeah, I could make that look cool. And so it's like, oh yeah, because all the stuff you saw at the beginning, I made all that, all the intro stuff. But you've seen me do that with other things. So, but it's so fun to like be able to mess around with that. So the last question is the hook. What should our hook be for this song? Let me get it ready. Oh no, I'm messing up buttons. Where are we? Here we go. And boom. What's the hook?
That's the thing we want people to take away, to remember?
No, well, no.
No.
Yeah,
When
for
I
the
think
song.
of a hook, it's
So,
a part of a song that
yeah, when you
repeats,
write a
but-
song, you have these things called verses, and then you have the chorus,
Right.
which in rap terms is the hook.
Is the hook. Okay.
And so I forgot. I didn't even think about that until right now, that you might not know what hook means. That's hilarious.
Well, I know what it meant in terms of a song.
Yeah.
Um,
But then also,
And I wasn't
it's
sure.
like, what do you want people to remember about you was
Right.
the second question. So you were.
so I conflated the questions into
Yeah, you
one.
did good. You were just trying to figure out what I was going to ask you later. I see you move. Nice.
The hook. The
So,
hook. Silly
something
goose.
like,
What should the hook
Don't
be?
cook that silly goose. Don't cook that silly. Let's see. I had something. Let's see. We're gonna go back
Silly,
on
silly,
the chorus.
silly goose.
Here we go.
silly-
Here's some music.
silly goose.
Don't cook that silly goose. Don't you cook that silly goose. Don't you cook that goose. That goose. Don't you cook it. Don't you cook that goose. Don't you cook a pickle. Cook a pickle.
Don't cook that goose. 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 Don't cook that. Don't
Silly goose.
Don't cook that goose. Don't cook this goose. Don't cook that goose. No.
That goose. Don't cook that goose. What? Don't cook that goose. Hey,
Don't
cook that goose.
No goose cooking. No goose cooking. No goose cooking.
No.
No cooking goose.
Hey.
No goosey cook.
No. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I like that. Just no goosey cooking. No cooking goosies. No goose. No goose. No geese will be cooked in this place. No cooking those goose. Your goose will be cooked only if you could not do it.
You cook pickles. You cook the pickles. You don't pick geese. You cook the pickles. Not the geese. The pickles, not the geese. The pickles, not the geese. The pickles.
This is ridiculous.
Well, that's us. That's me.
Yeah,
I'm-
no.
Yep. That's what I go for.
I already knew because I've hung out with you, and so I already knew how this was gonna go, which I loved. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a fun show. I was telling my wife, I was like, because me and Val have a great time.
I asked my husband once, I said, do you mind that you married a lawyer and ended up with a clown?
Yeah,
Is that a
that's-
problem for you?
Yeah, no, you know,
He
it's
loves
funny is like my wife, she went to school for marketing, entertainment marketing.
Ooh.
And so you're like, sweet. You know what I ended up with? A nonprofit person who just takes care of people, which is awesome. I love her very much, and she's amazing. But when I first was like, oh, this is going to be perfect for me, it did not go my way. I mean, it's been fine. Again, she makes enough money for me to be able to stay home with her kids, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And,
I'm always kind of jealous of people who are like Jenny, Heitler Clevens, Jenny and David Heitler Clevens. And they're both, they perform together and they're just both musicians. And I think, oh, wouldn't that be handy to have someone who sort of just shared in your interest?
I've considered that many a time. And I think before I was married, I had a girlfriend that was like perfect hip hop person, but it was just like we were it ended up being the same person. It was like, okay, we kind of need to be different. And now me and my wife are totally different. She's like a country NSYNC person, and I'm a rapper dude. And so it's funny. Well, I always laugh. I don't think I told you this. My grandmother and grandfather are in the Texas Swing Hall of Fame.
Oh.
And they were country western singers for years.
Oh.
And he was known as the Singing Barber. And he was actually in the World's Fair in 1968, right? Was when the World's Fair was in San Antonio. So he actually had a 1-year stint with a guy named Buddy Tall.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you would appreciate this. I actually have a Fender Champ amp.
Oh.
That was my grandmother's practice amp.
Yeah.
And so it's normally in the back. Normally it's behind me, and I hadn't brought it back in the house. So, but it's a 1957 Fender Champ amp. It's cool looking, but it's not in my, like I always laugh. Somebody's like, do you use that for anything? No. What am I going to do? rap through it.
No.
Not gonna work. But it's so funny how that works. Love it. I love the chorus. What is it that you want people to like? I'll ask you two separate questions because I'm working on an idea of making a smaller version of this podcast for kids, and so hence the reason I'm trying to ask you a kids question afterwards, so I can take that and make it into a little animation thing. But anyways, what was my question?
I don't know.
What is it that you want people to remember about like what you do? Like, what's the thing? Like, do you want them to like know you as just a funny person, as somebody that wanted to just make people smile? You know, what's your, or do you even care? Like,
I've never really thought about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I just love what I do. I love making people happy. So what would I want people to take away? Well, I mean, what I want people to know is that love is like really, really important, even though for many people they just think, oh, you're just a wuss. But radical loving of people is essential. And we'll probably never achieve that on Earth because we've got, as far as I'm concerned, predators and prey, and
sure.
that's the way it's going to be. But for we pray, we need to love one another.
Us geese.
We geese. Just don't cook us, you know, that's all we ask. Just
You can hunt us, but don't cook us, please.
give me a little grass, a little corn, and fine pickles. Great. Don't cook me. Don't be mean. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
That's
Just
fun.
Be nice.
Yeah, you did your answer. So if you were to tell a kid what was the one thing you'd want them to remember, you'd be like, don't be mean, be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's cool. I mean, again, do your grandchildren understand what you do, right? Or is that a surprise to them? They're like, wait, what?
No. They've come and done shows with me and helped me out, and they, oh, it's so sweet. And they ask me for my music. My youngest granddaughter said, well, let's put yours on Spotify. She said, so I got my fifth of a penny for play. But they're sweet, and my children who are now 40 were always a little jealous of Silly Goose because Silly Goose was the thing that took me away from them. It was work. So there was some sibling rivalry between my children and Silly Goose. But the grandkids just love her. Grandkids just think she's wonderful.
I struggle with that now as I have an opportunity to do more stuff. But I've gotten the first 6 years I've been able to spend all this time with my kids. And so it's like, but do I really want to start working more where I don't get to see them as much? But it's like, I also like the idea of eating.
Well, that's why this business is good, because when your children are in school, if school's out, you won't have any shows if you're doing kids shows, you know, if you do school shows. And it's just, it works pretty well usually that way. You don't get much snow where you live, do you?
No, not much snow. In Texas? Yeah, that doesn't really.
No.
I mean, for a while there, I was just doing weekend tours where I would go and catch up with somebody on the weekend and then just come back, which was cool because then I'd spend the whole week with the kids.
Yeah.
And then I would just be gone for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I'd be back. Normally be back on Sunday. And so that's fine. But now as I'm trying to do more, it's like, you know, and so, yeah, that's what it is. And
A lot to juggle.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out. I said I still have like another year where I have my child with me, so before I can really start doing more during school time things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll still do it. I'll just take her. I have a gig where it's at a daycare, so it's like, hey, drop me a few dollars and I'll just watch my kid as I'm doing it. I did Santa this year at a daycare. And so it was hilarious because I had to take the kids, and the first week of doing Santa, nobody came, and so it was just me and the kids chilling out at a baby daycare, which was funny. But and
Did you have to paint your beard more white?
No, I wore a fake one. I do have a picture of me and my son when he was like 2, as me as Santa with just a little more grayer. And it worked for like the first year. And now he's like 6 and he's like, Dad, that's definitely you as Santa. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not me.
No, Santa.
You got to do this really fun gig every year for military families. And the one year, there was a year where I'm doing my show. I'm like the main entertainer. So what I do is I do a 4-hour musical chairs where I'm the songs. So I'll just make up 4 hours of freestyles. And so I'm doing that. And then the guy who's playing Santa has a heart attack.
Ooh.
And so they're like, dog, can you please be Santa? And I'm literally like, I'm doing a show right now. And they're like, yeah, we need Santa right now. And I'm like, oh, see, Santa's way more important than you, bro. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm with you. So I went and I became Santa. And I got a picture with my 2-year-old or 1-year-old Santa, and it was great.
Aww.
So I haven't had to be Santa again since then, but that was a funny one. So there you go.
Okay.
Now, how do people how do people find you? Or do they look to find your information, to listen to your jams, to learn more about, obviously, the star of the show, Silly Goose? Silly Goose is the top of your thing. It's not Val and Silly Goose. It's Silly Goose and Val. So the star.
She demanded that's top billing. But if they Google Val Smalkin, Silly Goose and Val, they'll get there. I'm on Spotify. I have a website, www, of course you know that, Silly Goose and Val, but the and is spelled out, A-N-D, sillygooseandval.com. And you'll find links to everything there.
And if you're
Facebook.
If you're in Maryland, you have a real high chance to see Val.
That's right. I got it. Oh, my website has all the shows where I'll be coming up. I have some coming up in Montgomery County in their parks in the summer.
Are you doing Chicago this year, by the way?
Oh, yes, for the Children's Music Network.
Yeah.
Absolument.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pull that off. The rough part about this year is that it's the week before ACL, which is one of my biggest shows of the year. And so, yeah. So, but
we will inspire you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean,
that.
you know, I got my hip hop affinity group and all that jazz. And so,
Yeah.
I'm going to just say this on live. I apologize. I could have definitely, I could have helped I could have helped with y'all's video, and I didn't even think it in my head when you said you were going to do it. The real thing. So it was awesome, but I was like, how did I not think to, because I was like, I don't have puppet stuff, so I don't have to worry about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm a rapper. Right when I heard it, I was like, come on, Jason. You didn't think you're in the group. Come on, man.
Yeah, and I missed something that you did recently that I couldn't do because something came up at the last minute. I can't. Oh no, it was something Dana. Never mind. It was another thing that I wanted to do.
It wasn't me. You came to the last one, and then that's when I had all the drama with my car, so I had to leave.
That's right. Yeah,
and y'all let me go. So, but anyways, there you go. That's fun. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you had fun.
Okay. Yes.
We're gonna make a song now.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your question?
I want to hear the song. Where's the song?
We're gonna do it.
Okay.
We're gonna make it live. Yeah, I'm gonna make it live. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, you are. I'm not.
No, I was like, no.
I'll add a little doo-wops here.
Yeah, you don't. And it sounds weird because we're off by like 3 seconds or something.
Oh, okay. So never mind.
So it used to work with my co-host because he was a beatboxer, and so I just have to kind of run off him. But when you actually try to do an actual recording, it's not as good. And so, but again, I've learned where musicians can actually plug into the system, and so we can actually play the same jams, which is pretty cool. So, all right. So you ready for this song? Any last minute things you'd like me to add or thoughts?
Not a one. It's past my bedtime.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like if we'll have fun. I hope so. So, all right, here we go. Now let me go to the other last one. It's time for a rap. Let's go. Boom, bring it back. 5, 4, 3, 2. Would you like to do a voice intro for this? You don't have to bring. You could let Silly Goose do it without showing Silly Goose. Or would you like to? Or would you just do that later?
it, but what am I introducing?
Well, I'm going to play the music. And so have you ever, Silly Goose, have you ever heard one of those songs where like the singer kind of thinks about their life and thinks about things and they kind of just talk as the music plays? And so imagine this is your ode to the world and you're just thinking about your life and I'm going to play the music and you just kind of talk for a second and just kind of explain why cooking geese is a bad decision.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right. You might want to turn you up a little.
Oh, yeah, I turned it down a little bit because I didn't want to interfere.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
You're good.
I was just sitting here thinking about my life, which is a nice life. It was a nice life until I heard that someone wanted to cook my goose. And that made me very, very sad. And so I asked my friend Scout, can you help me, please? 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 Please?
And I said, yes, I'll do it for you, silly goose, you never be. I heard your story, how you chillin', but you waitin', G. And somebody was like, I wanna cook your goose. It's scary if you never knew what they came to do. And are they gonna fillet you or stick you in a baking sheet? I don't even know if you're deep fried and I'll wait to be. That's so messed up that you could even fear it all. Maybe you'll become fajitas, I don't know, here I fall. But this is the question for people to understand. Please don't cook geese or goose, that's the plan. You get it if you know. See, one thing I could do, you just replace it with a pickle and you keep it so cool. Now, see, Silly Goose was chillin' that day. Didn't know all the words that people would say and never heard the expression cook a goose and thought, this is crazy, what the heck do I do? And all she said is that you can't be. Then we said it out loud and we had to go be. Don't cook the goose, don't cook the goose and don't cook the goose, don't cook the goose and the goose can't be cooked. Don't cook them geese, don't cook it, cook it, don't wait, don't see, don't cook that goose, don't cook the goose, don't cook the geese, don't cook the goose and see. Hey, no goose cooking here, that's what I could say. All the cooking for the goose is the wrong way. I said no cook goose, goose no cook, geese no cook, and the goose no cook, them goose, I wait, it's true anyways, that's what we say and we keeping it true. Now it's all the same, if you still can't ever go, you don't want to turn goose into fajitas, bro. I know you add a little sour cream and cheese on that, yo. It probably tastes delicious, but we ain't eating that, no. And we do not want goose in our lasagna IB. And I don't want a goose burger, no, not for me. I don't want goose lasagna, I already said that I go, but no spaghetti, goose meatballs, that would be crusting, yo. Not disgusting, but I'm trusting if it's all the same. If I'm looking back to ever, but forever's the day. And then we get it like birria, tacos we be made of geese, that's not good. Even though maybe tasty with that little consomme. Hey, I'm starting to say, hey, Silly Goose, you kinda sound delicious today. I'm just thinking about it, all the delicious fat that you come. If I could never make it down, I rearranging it, son. Oh, I'm sorry. I told you we ain't cooking the goose. I'm waiting back for the things that you cannot do. And I heard the best replacement for geese you never see is called pickles. Yes, let's go with that, G. So instead of having a goose hot dog, get a pickle one. That's always delicious. You can fill it with the mustard, son. It's all the same. Never let it and we'll be back one more time. But first, no cooking geese. No cook that goose. Don't cook that goose. Don't cook that goose. No geese. No geese cooking. Cooking no. No goose cook. No goose cook. No. I'm thinking cooking no geese. Don't cook that goose. Don't cook that goose. Don't cook that goose. Don't cook the goose in. Don't cook the goose in. No cooking that goose. That goose. That goose. Now see, the other thing about geese that you could be, you could not put it in ice cream. That would not be tasty. And I go with the light that it still can never go. But I'm thinking, do you have to have a Christmas goose? No. That's why we eat turkey, because turkeys are delicious. And we better than goose. And gooses don't wash dishes. I'm just saying, turkeys do all the stuff that you could be. But mainly just eat ducks. That's what I say. Yes, sirree. Because silly goose doesn't like ducks. And I'm not sure why. Only if I run it down, I could still make them fly. And if you get it gone the right, it's all the same bee. But I know one thing is you still can never see. Don't cook the goose, don't cook that goose, don't cook that goose. No goosing will be cooked. Hey, don't cook that goose, don't cook that goose, don't cook that goose. No goosing will be cooked. No, don't cook that, don't cook that, don't cook that goose, please don't, bro. Don't cook that, don't cook that, don't you cook that goose. That's all I know. Did you like my fun turn? You're like, wait, goose sounds delicious and everything. Could you imagine that music video would be hilarious? She's like dancing around and just looking at it like, oh, sorry, I forgot. No, we knew not eating you.
I'm glad she was asleep. She did not hear any of that.
She'd be like, "Oh, this is a great song." Wait a second, he's changed his mind.
And after all that time you spent with her, and you built up your trust, and now you've betrayed her. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, goose is delicious. I'm just playing. No, that would.
It is.
I know. You don't tell her. It's hard because like. The thing about goose is like you can't really use it on lots of things. It's like good just as goose. It's not like people are saying.
The thing is, good. What you said before about goose is that it's really not all that delicious. It can be very dry. It has to be cooked. Oh no,
Perfectly.
actually, that's what it has to be cooked right. And there's not very much meat on it.
No,
Especially on silly goose. Mostly with silly goose, you get stuffed cotton.
Stinky sock.
Yeah. Or just stuffing.
Yeah,
A lot of stuffing.
You know, I said I made a ranch stuffing that day using the
Goose fat?
It was delicious.
Yeah.
But the goose was like, yeah, this is great. But the stuffing was awesome. But I had so much stuffing. It was like, because I didn't know it was going to overflow the pan. So just watching because you have a pan this high.
Yeah.
And that goose fat goes way over that.
Oh.
But, have you ever heard of anybody enjoying goose fat French fries? Or duck fat French fries?
Oh, I think so. I mean, that fat definitely is known for being really something good to cook in. And in Europe, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
They save you.
There's a place here, there's a food truck that literally that's all they serve is duck fat French fries. Yeah. I think it's called duck fries.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
No.
I'm glad I don't know about that. And they're not going to be coming to my little town in my neck of the woods, so it's fine with me.
But thank you again, Val. I hope you had a great time.
I did. I had a great time. Thank you. You were amazing. I can't wait to look at that first verse again because that had me laughing in my little chair.
That's fun. Again, make sure you go check out Val's website and check her out. Check out our videos, all our older videos. And I'm excited about if they end up doing the
It's Kinder Time. Yeah, the remake of It's Kinder Time. That'll be fun. The whole with these guys are such a genius. T.J. O'Neill is his name. Mm-hmm. Just so smart. Okay.
That's amazing. But that is very cool. And make sure, guys, if you're make sure you like and subscribe this video. If you're listening to this on the podcast normally, make sure you come check me out on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. CST. And I do it live on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Facebook. So come join us and have conversations with us. That would be fun. And I would love that. But if you're just watching the regular stream, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like what we're doing. And instead, I am considering making a kidder version of this. So if you have any ideas on that, any people listening in the audience, please send an email our way. Go to flows the number 4 letter U .com, and you can send me a contact and say what's up, and you say you want to be on the show. Just let me know. I can make that happen. I know the guy that books. And if you're looking for a new website, make sure you go to nomadweb.design. They make good websites. They made mine. And I think that's all. Like, subscribe, tell people about it, and look for my next hilarious hit. As I said, I'll work on a remix of this so I can play the new version of it to y'all next week. And that is all. Val, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Not a thing. Just everybody be good to each other. Take care of each other. Love your grandmother. If you're lucky enough to have a grandmother. I had one, but I never met her. So, yeah.
My grandma
or a
was
grand
awesome.
person, if you're supposed to say that today.
So,
yeah.
my grandmother was my biggest fan.
Yeah.
So, imagine like a 70-year-old lady at a rap concert. It was great.
Yeah. I adore being a grandmother. I just adore it. It's really fun.
It is very good. Oh, no, I don't know how it is to be. Maybe one day I'll get to be a grandmother and I'll understand how it works.
But it's just double, triple, quadruple all the love. You love your child, then you love your child, and you love the person your child married, and then you love them loving each other, and then you love them having children, and you love them loving, you love them. There's just...
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. Love
Speaking
going back
of,
and forth. Yeah.
I hope you have a great day. For those of you, this is what we do now. This is what we do. I will see y'all next week. We'll be talking with a, oh no, I forgot. I think we're talking with Caden, and he's a autism activist and talks about people learning more about autism, which is important to me because my child has autism, and I'm looking forward to that talk, and I'm looking forward to whatever silly song we come up with. So I will see y'all next week, and please come join us. I hope I said the right person. If I didn't, hey, we'll figure it out. Val, stay on the line, so after I end this, and so I can say bye to you normally. All right, bye, guys.
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you. This is what